Hello and welcome to the Flix Forum podcast, where each episode we usually go back and we look at a Netflix original film in the order of release. However, today we have a very special bonus episode. This is one of my favorite times of the years. It is the Oscar season. It's the time for the Academy Awards, and I'm going to put together a little bit of a preview show about some of the nominations for the 98th Academy Awards. And of course, because we are a Netflix show, we're going to focus a little bit on some of the Netflix representations in the nominations. I'm Jesse, I'm your host. Thanks for joining me for this episode. So the idea of this show is I'm going to go through some of the Netflix nominations, going to talk about some of the categories, some of my thoughts about who are going to win some of the big ones, and then talk about my rankings of the 10 films that have been nominated for Best Picture. So the award show are going to take place on March the 15th, 2026, which is a Sunday in America, which will be Monday the 16th of March in Australia at the Dolby Theatre in Hollywood, Los Angeles. During the show, the AMPAS will present Academy Awards, or the Oscars, in 24 categories this year, honouring films that were released in 2025. The ceremony is going to be televised in the United States on ABC and streamed on Hulu, as well as in Australia it will be on 7plus Live. Comedian and podcaster Conan O'Brien is set to host the show for the second consecutive year. And the other big thing this year is there's a new award. There is an award for Best Casting, which is going to be presented as a categorical debut, bringing the total number of competitive Oscars to 24. I think this award is pretty much a shoo-in for Sinners, which we'll talk a little bit more. So Netflix this year have 18 nominations, which I believe is the same as last year. So Best Picture is where we're at. They have 2 nominations for Frankenstein and Train Dreams. They are nominated in Best Actor in a Supporting Role for Jacob Elordi in Frankenstein. We have a nomination in Best Adapted Screenplay for Frankenstein and Train Dreams. Best Animated Feature, K-Pop Demon Hunters sits there. In Best Documentary Feature Film, we have The Perfect Neighbor from Netflix. In Best Documentary Short is All the Empty Rooms. Best Live Action Short, we have The Singers. Best Music Original Score, Frankenstein sits there. The Best Music Original Song is Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters. Train Dreams is nominated in that category as well for Nick Cave for the song Train Dreams. He's an Aussie, and I believe that song wasn't actually in the original release of the film when it debuted, so there we go, an Australian representation here in the Netflix nominations too. Frankenstein is nominated for Best Sound, as well as Best Production Design, as well as Best Makeup and Hairstyling, and Best Costume Design. And it's also nominated in Best Cinematography, alongside Train Dreams too. So there we go. I'm going to go through a few of the big categories and my thoughts, and finish off with some Best Picture rankings and observations. So, Best Animated Feature. The films that are nominated are Elio, Arco, Zootopia 2, Little Emile, and the Characters of Rain, and K-Pop Demon Hunters. And I think the clear favourite running into this is the Netflix film K-Pop Demon Hunters, and I think it will be very stiff to be beaten by anything else. I think there was a chance Zootopia 2 possibly would have had a bit of a run, but no, not the case. So K-Pop Demon Hunters I'm picking to win the Best Animated Feature there. Then we go to the Best International Feature Film. I honestly usually try to keep up with watching as much as I possibly can. This year, not so much, but the nominees for the Best International Feature are Surat, The Voice of Hind Rajab, It Was Just an Accident, The Secret Agent, and Sentimental Value. So The Secret Agent and Sentimental Value are both nominated in the Best Feature category as well, the Best Film category. So it's hard not to look at those two. And I think based on the amount of nominations, and Sentimental Value has 4 acting nominations as well. So I'd suggest that will be the winner for Best International Feature Film. Then we go to the Screenplay Awards. So Best Adapted Screenplay. We have some Netflix nominations here. We have Frankenstein, Netflix. We have Begonia. We have Train Dreams, also Netflix. We have Hamnet and One Battle After Another. And I think based on all the precursor awards, One Battle After Another should definitely take this one, because this is really a battle for most of these awards between that film and Sinners, which we'll touch on now in the Best Original Screenplay. So films nominated here are Blue Moon, Sentimental Value, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, and Sinners. And I think Sinners will take that one out, and they're going to split those awards, and then it's sort of a guess as to what else those films will pick up along the way. So in Best Supporting Actress, we have Elle Fanning in Sentimental Value, Inga Adora Leles in Sentimental Value. We have Wunmi Musako from Sinners, Tiana Taylor from One Battle After Another, and Amy Madigan in Weapons. This is interesting. This is Amy Madigan won for Weapons. It was at the ACTRA Awards, or the old SAG Awards, and she did a great speech, and I think that sort of built a bit of momentum towards her. So I think that one's going to win for her. If we move to Best Supporting Actor, this is where we've got Benicio del Toro for One Battle After Another, Jacob Elordi from Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo from Sinners, Stellan Skarsgård from Sentimental Value, and Sean Penn from One Battle After Another. Stellan Skarsgård won a couple of awards. Sean Penn's been winning an awful lot. I think Sean Penn's going to take this one away. Let's see if he's some of the award shows he's been sitting there smoking and drinking in the ceremony hall. So let's see if that impacts his ability to win this award. Then the big acting awards. So Best Supporting Actor. Sorry, we've done the Best Supporting Actor. Best Actor award. So for Best Actor. Sorry, I'm all over the shop, aren't I? So for Best Actor, we've got Ethan Hawke nominated for Blue Moon, Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent, Timothy Chalamet for Mighty Supreme, and Michael B. Jordan for Sinners. This is so interesting because Timothy Chalamet was in the lead the whole way through, and then just recently it's turned to Michael B. Jordan from Sinners. And Michael B. Jordan is winning some awards, seems to be a very popular nominee and a very popular winner when he does win. So this is one of those flip of the coin moments where Timothy Chalamet has been dying to win this Oscar. He's been nominated the last couple of years. He's young. He's still got a long way to go. But it might be a bit of the Leonardo DiCaprio effect where he doesn't win until later in his career. So Michael B. Jordan at the moment, I think, is the favourite to win this award. And if we have a look at the other side of the category at Best Actress, we've got Kate Hudson, we've got Renate Renzi from Sentimental Value, we've got Emma Stone from Begonia, Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, and Jessie Buckley from Hamnet. So this one's, I mean, I know Rose Byrne won a couple of awards, but Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, put your money on it, put your house on it. She's definitely going to win that award. Then we've got Best Director. So for Best Director, we've got Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, Josh Safdie for Mighty Supreme, Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Ryan Coogler for Sinners, and Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another. I think, like Paul Thomas Anderson, again, this should be a guaranteed win for him. This is an Oscar that's well-deserved, and I think you've got to go with him. I know Ryan Coogler's got a lot of support too, and his time will come, but I think this is Paul Thomas Anderson's award. Now, we're up to the last award, the Best Picture. The odds. Let's look at the odds for this one. So we have the F1 film at $151. We've got The Secret Agent at $101. Frankenstein, $91. Train Dreams, $81. Begonia, $67 for the win. Sentimental Value at $41. Mighty Supreme at $34. Hamnet at $21. So everything there you can wipe off the board. Then we have Sinners at $4 and One Battle After Another at $1.20. They are very short odds. And this could be the big upset of the night. This is the one where One Battle After Another has led this category for odds the whole way through. But Sinners is closing in. And it could go either way. I think I'm going to go with One Battle After Another just because I think that it's held momentum for so long. But I would not be surprised if Sinners jumps over and wins Best Picture. So let's wait and see. We're very close now to the actual awards ceremony. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my rankings, I guess, for those 10 films and where I sit for the Best Picture rankings. And I've got to say, I haven't seen Sentimental Value or The Secret Agent. I've seen some mini clips, I've seen some scenes. I'm very keen to check them out, but life has gotten in the way this year a little bit for me. So I've only seen the other 8 films. So in reverse order, I'm going to go through them. So in 8th, I've got Hamnet. I don't know, just for me, this was overhyped dribble. I mean, yes, it's beautifully directed. There's some amazing imagery throughout. Jessie Buckley's wonderful, but to me, it's just so slow and so manipulative emotionally. For me, I'm glad that it hasn't had a big run. I was a bit worried this was going to be the one that took on One Battle After Another for Best Picture, but it hasn't ended that way anyway. For me, that's in at number 8. Then I'm going to go number 7. I've got Frankenstein. Obviously, a Netflix original film. It is a good film. We've done a bonus episode on the film, so give that a listen if you're interested in hearing out my thoughts. It's well done, and it's done in a way that only Guillermo del Toro could do, and I think the winner out of this whole Frankenstein celebration is Jacob Elordi, who is probably going to get what he wants now in any film. So that's good news. He's obviously Australian, so I want to see him succeed. But the idea of this, you just got to respect the craft of this film. It was great. In at number 6, I've got Train Dreams. Again, another Netflix original film, another bonus episode that you could jump onto and listen. this is a film, it just feels so real. There's some great supporting performances in it. William H. Macy is great in this. It's an emotional film as a parent, a bit like Hamnet, but it does it the right way, unlike Hamnet for me. So there we go, number 6. In number 5, I've got Begonia. This is a crazy film. I still think about it, especially the power of the film and how it can keep an audience on board about... Yeah, I'm trying not to spoil it, but how, if you haven't seen it, but how isn't she the whole way through? I just think that was exceptional storytelling, really well done, enjoyed that film. And then I've got in at number 4, and any of these it's a toss of a coin. The last 4 films could land anywhere. They're all great films. So I've got Sinners at number 4. It's so good. It's the best film like this since Get Out by Jordan Peele, which is one of my all-time favorite films. And the idea that freedom's so important, so as is music. I really enjoyed this. The whole vampire middle section on reflection probably takes this towards that bottom 4. That's why I've put that here, even though it's still a great film. So Sinners, great film. In at number 3, I've got Mighty Supreme. Mighty Supreme for me. I saw this at a special preview screening with MJ, who's hosted this show with me for a long time, and I went into this film thinking I was seeing a sport film, a table tennis film, and instead, I got one of the wildest character studies of an absolute horrible human being that I still wanted to see succeed. So I think it's a great film. It's a good film. If you've listened to this show before, you know that I'm a Timmy fangirl. I still am. I think he was great in this. I think the film was really well done, and he did such a good job of holding it together. So there we go. In my second, this obviously doesn't belong here, but for me it does. I've got F1 in at second. These are my personal choices. I know this is not where it's going to land, but the F1 film. I went to the opening of this in IMAX at Melbourne, and I was blown away. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a solid 4-star film. Enjoyed it, and then I went and saw it again, and I loved it even more. And then I got it on 4K, and I've watched it probably another 3 times. And this is just a whole package of movie blockbuster consumerism for me this year. And the soundtrack, I eagerly awaited each song to drop, and knew each song before I saw the film. And my son, he's 5 years old and he's car crazy, and he got me into F1, and he loved the songs and he loves the music, and I've never really liked cars. I always thought F1 was pretty ordinary, it's a bit rubbish, but now I'm hooked, and this is a father-son thing for me. I've taken my son to the Melbourne Grand Prix the last couple of years for all 4 days, and I stay up late, I get up early to watch races, and I don't care if this film is 100% factual to racing, and I don't care that there's so many issues with the film. This film, it's about a connection I have with my son and Brad Pitt. So for me, F1, really enjoyed that as a blockbuster film. But my number 1 film on the list is One Battle After Another. After I saw it, it reinvigorated my love of film. When I saw this, I was probably feeling a little bit burnt, a bit stale with teaching film, and thinking about how I could keep things fresh. And this excited me. The score stayed with me. And I guess honing in on my previous film, F1, this has got 2 amazing car sequences. And again, this is about a father and a child. And it says so much more about the world than anything else this year has for me. So One Battle After Another is my top film of the year. And now I'm going to jump into some other good films. These are some films that haven't necessarily been nominated for Oscars, but some films that I really rated highly for 2025. So bear with me while I give you some suggestions, some films that you might want to check out. So The Perfect Neighbor, I know it's nominated for Best Documentary, and I didn't do an episode on it for the show because I was watching it not expecting what I saw, not expecting it to be, I thought it was going to be another one of those Netflix crime films that was sort of, you watch it, you're like, oh yeah, cool, interesting story. But this stood with me. It's heartbreaking. It's so hard to watch. It's the Karen of all Karens. If you haven't seen The Perfect Neighbor, and I think it's a favourite to win Best Documentary, give it a watch. Great film. Another film called Together, which is an Australian film directed by a guy called Michael Shanks. And if you haven't seen Michael Shanks, the director, he's done this, it was a short stop motion hybrid type of short film called Rebooted. If you haven't seen that, check it out. It's on YouTube. It's great. This film, Together, it was filmed like 5 minutes from my house and stars Dave Franco, Alison Brie, some Spice Girls music. It's a really good film, worth checking out. This isn't a film, but a solid mini-series also on Netflix called Adolescence. You're going to know it. Most people know it. You've probably seen it. You've probably seen it being inundated with awards across the awards season. But if you haven't seen it, just watch it. There's one episode that's done in one take. Just wow for the craft. Really good. Some Marvel. There's some Marvel this year. I think Marvel's sort of been missing the last few years from my list, but Thunderbolts hashtag, or not hashtag Star, I think it was called, which later to be revealed as the new Avengers. And I think it was refreshingly good to see a Marvel film that didn't rely on digital effects the whole way and a big villain showdown. Definitely worth a watch. Louis Theroux. So hopefully some of you know this guy. Does great documentaries. He's amazing. He did a doco this year called, was it The Settlers? It was him traveling to the Israel-Palestine conflict, and he's just so cool and calm and collected, and he's just got this way. I think he's dropped a new one on Netflix in the last few days too, which I'm also super keen to check out. I've seen him live on stage. This guy's great. If you haven't seen it, check it out. A Spike Lee film here, Highest to Lowest. This one didn't really play very wide, but he shoots New York City like no other. The score was woeful in this film, and Denzel Washington, he's still good and holds the film together, but I really enjoyed that film, Highest to Lowest. Another Netflix crime documentary called Cold Case, The Tylenol Murders. It's a crime story. When I watched it, everyone knows this story or heard about it, and I remember the key events, but they have the key suspect in this, and the fact that he agreed to do this, it blew my mind. That was really good. Another Marvel film, The Fantastic Four, First Steps. I think I called it the first true Marvel family film, and I took 30 plus students, I think, on an excursion to see this at the cinemas. We had a ball. It was great. It has that dreaded CGI villain battle that I talked Thunderbolts up for not having, but this is such a great cast of characters and just worked well emotionally for me. The Naked Gun reboot. I laughed, I giggled, I loved how silly and reflective this was, and it's what good humor is. That was excellent. Jay Kelly, another Netflix original film. It didn't get the award recognition it probably was hoping for, but Adam Sandler, The Sandman, George Clooney, they hold this together like a fine wine. We've done a bonus episode on this. Listen to it for some further insight. It's worth checking out. Another Netflix true crime doco. This has been my year of true crime, I guess. It was called Unknown Number, The High School Catfish. The first half of this, it hooked me in. If you haven't seen it, it's probably been ruined for you now, I would say. It was all over socials. But if you haven't had it ruined for you, give it a watch. There's no excuse whatsoever for what happens in this. It's a good watch. Watch it. Another Netflix original that didn't get any awards recognition that it may have thought it was going to, which was Wake Up Dead Man, the Knives Out, the third film in that series. I think it was super harshly done by. We've got that new Best Casting Award. It should have come into play here a little bit, but this film's great. If you love the other two films, give this a shot. Not going to ruin the twists and turns. We've done a bonus episode on that as well. Give it a watch. In Your Dreams. This is another Netflix original. It was an animated original, and guess what? There's another bonus episode about it you can see. But this, to me, was my favorite animated film of the year. It had great heart, great humor, and was so much better than the other franchise making an animated machine film that Netflix is going to promote for the next 10 years. K-pop Demon Hunters is what I'm referring to. But In Your Dreams, give it a watch if you can. Finally, finishing up, Everyone Loves Raymond, the 30th anniversary reunion. This was like a feature-length reunion. It was the actual television show was must-watch television or viewing in my household growing up. And if you love this show, you're going to love this. So many good memories, well worth a watch. And I've got Avatar: Fire and Ash on here too. Saw this in 3D. It's just one of those James Cameron films that deserves credit for what he's doing with technology. Yes, narrative-wise, story-wise, it's the same as what you've seen before, but visually, it's still breathtaking to see. Other than that, I'm ready to wrap this up. I'm ready for the Oscars on Monday, Australian time. I hope you are too. Hopefully, you can watch along somewhere around the world and make your own predictions. We're on socials. Let us know, what are your predictions, either on Instagram, Facebook, or X, which is formerly known as Twitter. We do have a huge back catalogue of episodes. I think last year when I did this Oscars preview, I said we had over 400 episodes. Well, we've got over 500 episodes now. So if there's a Netflix original film that you've seen or you're interested in checking out, give us a search, give us a listen, give us a follow, give us a like. Other than that, we have our regular episodes on Monday. Hang out for us then, and thanks for joining me.